Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Podcast Zone, the place where conversations travel far beyond borders and ideas open doors to perspectives we may never have considered before. Wherever you're listening from today, maybe you're sitting comfortably at home, maybe you're on your way to work, maybe you're walking through a busy city street, or maybe you're quietly planning your next adventure. We are truly grateful that you chose to spend a little bit of your time with us. Every episode of this podcast is like a small journey of its own, and today's conversation is going to take us into one of the most fascinating topics connected to human curiosity, the experience of travel.
Absolutely, Mark. To everyone listening right now, welcome to Podcast Zone. We believe that conversations can sometimes take us further than airplanes because ideas have the power to expand our minds and reshape the way we look at the world. Today, we're talking about travel, but not just in the usual way people talk about destinations or famous places. Instead, we're exploring the deeper emotional and personal meaning behind travel, the kind of meaning that changes people, inspires them, and sometimes even redirects the course of their lives.
That's such an important point, Emma, because travel has always been one of humanity's greatest sources of inspiration. For thousands of years, people have crossed deserts, climbed mountains, sailed across oceans, and walked along unknown roads just to discover what lies beyond the horizon. That sense of curiosity is deeply rooted in human nature. It's the same curiosity that pushes us to ask questions, to search for knowledge, and to explore the unknown parts of our world.
And the amazing thing about travel is that it doesn't just change what we see, it changes how we think and how we feel. When we travel, we step outside our everyday routines and enter environments that challenge our expectations. We hear different languages, experience new traditions, taste unfamiliar foods, and meet people whose stories may be completely different from our own. Those moments slowly reshape our understanding of life and broaden our perspective in ways that are often difficult to achieve otherwise.
Which brings us to the fascinating question we're exploring today. It's a question that sounds simple at first, but once you begin thinking about it more deeply, you realize it actually reveals a lot about personality, lifestyle, and personal growth. The question is this: when it comes to travel, is it better to go alone on a solo adventure or to share the experience with your family?
It's such an interesting question because both choices represent very different kinds of journeys. A solo trip often symbolizes independence, freedom, and personal discovery. It's the experience of standing in a new place with no one else guiding your decisions, only your own instincts and curiosity leading the way. On the other hand, a family trip represents connection, shared memories, and emotional bonds. It's about exploring the world together and turning ordinary moments into stories that families remember for years.
Exactly, and that's why this conversation is so fascinating. Solo travel and family travel are not just different styles of vacation, they're actually two different ways of experiencing life. Each one teaches its own lessons, shapes our personality in unique ways, and leaves us with different kinds of memories that stay with us long after the journey ends.
Let's start with solo travel, because for many people, the idea of traveling alone feels both exciting and a little intimidating. When someone decides to travel alone, they're essentially stepping into the world without the familiar support system they usually rely on. There's no friend or relative beside them to make decisions or solve problems. Everything from choosing a destination to navigate unfamiliar streets depends entirely on them.
And at first, that level of independence can feel overwhelming. Many first-time solo travelers describe a mixture of excitement and nervousness. They wonder whether they'll be able to handle unexpected situations or communicate with strangers in unfamiliar environments. But something remarkable happens when people face those challenges. They begin to discover strengths they didn't even realize they had.
That's one of the most beautiful aspects of solo travel. When you're alone in a new environment, you're forced to rely on your own abilities and instincts. You learn how to make decisions, how to adapt to unexpected changes, how to find solutions when things don't go according to plan. Over time, those experiences build confidence and resilience, qualities that are incredibly valuable in every aspect of life.
I remember my first solo trip very clearly. At the beginning, I felt uncertain and slightly anxious because everything around me was unfamiliar. But as the days passed, I started to feel a sense of freedom that was almost exhilarating. I realized that I could design my own schedule, follow my own curiosity, and explore places that genuinely interested me without worrying about anyone else's expectations.
That sense of freedom is something many solo travelers talk about. When you travel alone, the journey becomes deeply personal. You wake up whenever you want, you choose the places you want to visit, and you allow yourself to explore the world at your own pace. In many ways, solo travel feels like writing your own story. One decision, one experience, and one discovery at a time.
But while solo travel focuses on independence and self-discovery, family travel focuses on something equally powerful: connection. When families travel together, they step away from the routines and distractions of everyday life. Suddenly, they have time to talk, laugh, share experiences, and truly enjoy each other's company.
And those shared moments often become the most meaningful memories people carry throughout their lives. A simple moment, like watching a sunset together, walking through an unfamiliar street, or laughing about getting lost in a new city, can become a story that families remember and retell for decades. These experiences strengthen emotional bonds and remind people how important relationships are.
Family trips also teach valuable life skills. When people travel together, they learn patience, cooperation, and understanding. Different family members often have different preferences and expectations, so planning and experiencing a trip together requires compromise and communication.
Those skills, communication, empathy, and cooperation, are incredibly important, not just in family relationships, but also in professional and social life. In a way, family travel becomes a kind of training ground for emotional intelligence and teamwork.
Another fascinating aspect of travel, whether alone or with family, is how it influences personal growth. When we travel, we encounter unfamiliar environments that challenge our assumptions and expand our perspective.
Exactly. Seeing how different cultures live, work, celebrate, and solve problems can change the way we understand our own lives. It reminds us that there are countless ways to live a meaningful and fulfilling life.
Travel also teaches humility. When you see how vast and diverse the world is, you realize how much there is to learn. That realization often sparks curiosity, and curiosity is one of the most powerful drivers of creativity and innovation.
Many entrepreneurs, artists, and thinkers have said that travel played a significant role in shaping their ideas. Exposure to different cultures and perspectives can inspire new ways of thinking and open the door to unexpected opportunities.
That's why some people say travel is one of the best forms of education. The lessons you learn through experience often stay with you longer than anything you read in a book.
And those lessons are not just intellectual, they're emotional and personal as well. Travel teaches gratitude, patience, resilience, and appreciation for. And those lessons are not just intellectual, they're emotional and personal as well. Travel teaches gratitude, patience, resilience, and appreciation for diversity.
Another thing travel often does is remind people to slow down and appreciate life. When we're caught in daily routines, it's easy to overlook the beauty around us.
But when we travel, we become more attentive. We notice the colors of a sunset, the architecture of a historic street, the sounds of a busy marketplace, or the peaceful silence of a mountain landscape.
Those moments remind us that life is filled with extraordinary experiences if we simply take the time to notice them.
And sometimes those moments change the way we think about our priorities.
Exactly. People often return from journeys with a new appreciation for experiences rather than possessions.
There's a quote I love: "Collect moments, not things." Travel embodies that philosophy perfectly.
Because moments become memories.
And memories become stories that shape our identity.
So when people ask whether solo trips or family trips are better, the answer is not simply one or the other.
Both experiences offer valuable lessons and meaningful memories.
Solo travel helps us understand ourselves more deeply.
Family travel helps us strengthen the relationships that give our lives meaning.
Independence and connection are both essential parts of a balanced life.
And travel gives us opportunities to experience both.
Well, Emma, today's conversation truly felt like a journey of ideas and reflections.
I agree completely. Talking about travel always reminds me how inspiring and beautiful the world can be.
To everyone listening today, we hope this episode encouraged you to think about the journeys you want to take in your own life.
Whether you decide to travel alone or with your family, remember that every journey has the power to teach you something valuable.
Sometimes the most important step is simply deciding to begin.
Because the magic of the road often appears only after we start walking.
If you enjoyed today's conversation, we invite you to explore more episodes here on Podcast Zone.
We have many more discussions waiting for you about curiosity, growth, discovery, and the experiences that shape who we become.
Thank you for spending this time with us.
And until our next episode,
Keep exploring the world.
keep learning from every journey.
This is Mark
And Emma,
from Podcast Zone.
wishing you meaningful adventures and unforgettable memories wherever your journey takes you.